Hi guys, my name is Sarah Ponce, and I chose to do my SWOT analysis on Los Altos High School, which is actually the high school I attended. So here's my school profile. I wanted to start off with some demographics so we can all become familiar with Los Altos High. It is part of the Hacienda de La Puente School District. It's 9th through 12th grade, and it is a public school. There are about 70 classroom teachers with a total number of 1,705 students. So roughly, teacher-student ratio is about 25 to 24 students. Within those students, there are 0 reported American Indian, 119 reported Asian students, 16 reported Black students, 1,487 Hispanic students, 3 Pacific Islander students, 67 white students, and 11 students who reported they were 2 or more races. So it is a predominantly Hispanic school with not much diversity. Internal strengths. So on the district website for Los Altos, there are numerous educational programs devoted to higher educational preparedness. One of these being AVID. This is a very popular program it's nationwide. It basically targets students who would be first generation college students whose parents did not attend college and gives them the tools and resources to pursue that higher educational goal. Los Altos has many advanced placement and honor classes. Advanced placement classes can ultimately go towards college credit if the child passes the test. Career Tech Education. So this is basically like an ROP program. They did not offer this when I was a student there, but now they have academies that you can go into, such as business and visual and performing arts, so choir or theater. Also on the website were expected school-wide learning results. This is also called the ESLER. They did have this when I was a student, which was like 6 years ago. And it's basically applied and embedded in every course subject. So every classroom that we would go into would have the daily schedule and then how that related to the ESLERs. And I did put a little picture of Los Altos's ESLER. And the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, WASC, is an accreditation program. It had a lot of information on what it was, but it did not state whether Los Altos was accredited by them or if they were in the process of being accredited. They also stated numerous recognitions, such as California Business for Education Excellence Honor Roll, California Distinguished School Award, Best High School from U.S. News and World Report, and Newsweek's America's Best High Schools. And again, this was just stated, but there was no concrete proof of where this came from. So internal strength related to COVID-19. On the website, there is a slideshow that has some safety and health resources such as hand washing, social distancing, mental health, and physical health. They did have the posted student learning schedule, which I included a picture on the right-hand side. And that's helpful for everybody to stay on the same page, parents and students alike. They had a link for reopening school information that I assume changes with the current climate of COVID-19. And they did have a picture of the school lunch program, which is really heartwarming because some of the staff members who did the school lunches are the same as when I was in high school. So it's just great to see that community come together in the form of a picture. Some internal weaknesses. So I was really surprised at some of these statistics. The first one is the mathematics results. So I attended Los Altos in 2014, and up until 2019, students predominantly scored with a level 1, standard not met at all. And what's really remarkable about this is within a 5-year span, it didn't improve. If anything, it got worse. So whatever they are implementing at this time is not working. The next one was suspensions by most serious offense category. And again, this was surprising to see that from 2015 to 2019, it was mostly drugs or violence without injury, which very much reflects the community atmosphere. And the last one is expulsion rate. So there is a sharp spike from 2016, which goes from a 0 expulsion rate to a 0.2 expulsion rate. So, with internal weaknesses come external opportunities. So for the standards not met mathematical results, I would suggest recognizing that it is an issue, a school-wide issue, in fact, and implement new teacher training. So whatever teaching methods are happening now inside the classroom is not working based on the statistics. I'd also suggest introducing mathematics clubs or organizations to encourage students to get involved and making math more fun and less of a scary thing. And make class time tutoring available. So not after school tutoring, but actual in-class time that allows the teacher to connect with their students and understand what they are getting and what they're not getting. The next one is suspension by most serious offense, and as we mentioned, it was drugs and violence with the highest overall over a 4-year period. So analyze the surrounding community demographics and risk factors, as I mentioned, and as administrators who maybe don't live in that area, knowing what these children are exposed to on an everyday basis. Along with that, offer mental health resources and drug addiction and home violence resources. So just educating students about what's out there, how they can combat that, and have a successful learning environment. And last, expulsion rate. So intervention programs, as mentioned, education, and clubs and sports that the student can get involved in and have a sense of belonging. External threats. So the census state enrollment from 2014, there's a steady decline until 2019. Along with that, we have the coronavirus outbreak, which is a national disaster. And we have a 6 out of 10 rating for Los Altos High School on Great Schools rating. So not a very great school with a 6 out of 10. Recommendations. The first recommendation would be provide teacher training. This will ultimately improve test scores and help navigate the current pandemic. So not just, bi-yearly teacher training, but training when necessary. The second recommendation I have is improve parent-school relationship. So invite parents to participate in their child's education. And this will ultimately improve school online reviews as well as strengthen community of the school and really get parents involved in their child's success. Number 3 would be a more detailed school website. So as I mentioned, things were a little vague on the website with no concrete evidence of things that were being stated. So it'd just be nice to see some awards and accreditations posted to make parents feel more comfortable with their child attending that school. And the fourth recommendation would be community involvement. So with community involvement comes pride in your school, which will ultimately lower suspension and expulsion rate, and increase funding. So the community will give back to the school to support the success of the children in their community. And with that, I just want to leave you guys with my references and say thank you for listening.